Okay, so I'm back here today to actually do a review of a painting I completed. But before we get started with that, I did receive a small package in the mail, so I thought I would just open it up because it's something that we've all seen before, so I didn't want to shoot a separate video for it. And I don't actually have my purchase and shipping information for this on hand because I wasn't planning on throwing it in this video, but I will put it in the description. So I purchased this off of Wish, and it's actually just one of the rollers. So now, instead of me pulling out my rolling pin for my kitchen, each time I want to roll my paintings, I have a nice roller. So I decided to go with one of the wooden ones, and it seems to be really good quality. It's very sturdy. The pieces seem to be connected really well, and it's got looks like a ball bearing or something to hold the pin in. And it seems to roll really well. So they do have the plastic options, and I was kind of going back and forth between the two, but I thought I like the sturdiness of this. Yeah, I'm really happy. So now I don't have to keep hijacking my rolling pin for my kitchen. Let me make sure, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's everything. And it just came wrapped in this plastic bag, and it was shipped to me in a bubble mailer. Okay. So, why we're here today. So I wanted to do a review of a painting I just purchased, and I have my little notebook here. So this is the first painting review that I'm putting up on the channel, and ironically enough, it's not a good review, which is, not something that I would be hoping to post. Obviously, I want my paintings to turn out well, and I want to be happy with them. I do spend money on them. And, I didn't want to I don't want to have negativity on the channel. But I also believe in honesty, and if I'm not happy with something, I'm going to let people know. So I purchased this painting from the Olee store, and that's O-L-E-E. It wasn't from AliExpress. It was a store I found just online, and I was seeing Facebook ads for it, so I thought I would check it out. It's a full square, 40 by 50, and I paid $28.99 for it. I purchased it on September 22nd, and I received it on November the 2nd. Okay, so this is where I'm gonna give a pause. When I went to purchase these paintings, to start off, I had a really difficult time purchasing. I went in, I knew I wanted this painting in a 40 by 50 size because I had seen it completed in that size, and I thought the detail looked great. So I had selected that and another painting at a larger size as well. What I didn't realize is when I went to the shopping cart to purchase it, it reverted this painting to the smallest size. So I had to get in contact with them. I canceled the order and I placed the order again. It happened a second time, so I'm not sure what was up with their site and the purchasing. It ended up going through that I did get this painting with the 40 by 50 size, but the other painting had reverted to the smaller size. So at this point, it was like almost a week of going back and forth with them and trying to place the order, so I just said, forget it. I kept this painting since it came at the larger size that I wanted. And the other painting, which I had shown in my completed paintings video, came in the smaller size. The second issue I had is they advertised that they provide full shipping information. I got nothing from them, and I contacted them, no response. So I had no idea when these paintings were coming. They had, shipping. I mean, I purchased it on September the 22nd, and I received it on November the 2nd. It took a long time to come in. In fact, I ordered paintings from China weeks after I had purchased these ones, and I had received them before this one. So I had sent them an email. They still didn't give me tracking, but they did respond and say, don't worry about it. It's coming. It's on its way. Fine. I finally get the paintings. The drill quality looked great. The canvases weren't too bad. Like it didn't look bad at the time, but I was missing a color, one of the colors for this painting. I messaged them, they said, absolutely no problem, we're gonna send those gems to you. Never got the missing gems. I messaged them again, no response. So finally I just went ahead and bought the missing gems from a different site. And I mean, they're not coming to me. This was back in November and we're in May now. They're not coming. So all of that aside, I went ahead to pull out the painting to complete it. And at that point in time, you know, rivers, I can fix. It's not a big deal. But I actually had bubbles on this painting and I didn't notice it when I unboxed it. You can kind of see, I don't know if you can see it there, right here. This canvas has been ironed too. There's another bubble. So there was only so much I could do to fix it. And I mean, I ironed this sucker. I started it on April the 13th and I completed it on May the 1st, so about 2.5 weeks. There's the thumbnail of the painting. Okay, so I'm gonna put my book aside and we'll flip her over. And here she is. So now I have it sideways here just so that it can fit. You can see the bubbling a little bit, the rippling in the canvas, but it's actually not too bad. It turned out, I'm gonna honestly say, a lot better than I thought with regards to that. Popping drills, I have some, but it's actually not ridiculous. I've definitely had a lot worse, and I think once I roll it out and seal it, it will look quite good. That aside, and look, I actually lost a gem right here, so we're gonna have to put one in there. It was a confetti heavy painting, but I kind of, to be honest, expected that. Because what a lot of people don't realize, even though it's a blackboard finish, in order to give it that chalk-like background, there's going to be a lot of confetti and shading. So it was very confetti heavy. But the issue that I have with this painting, and like I said, I've seen a lot of people complete this at the same size, the 40 by 50, and their paintings look extremely different from mine. I don't like the color choices of the gems, and I don't like how the painting was charted. So I think that's an important lesson when you're getting into diamond painting, that it's not necessarily just the quality of the gems, it's where you purchase the items. Because how one company is going to chart the finish is not going to be the same way as how another company charts it. So with saying that, there's a couple things I want to point out. So if you look at my butter on my painting, right there, it is a light saffrony yellow with lots of confetti in it. The other paintings that I've seen finished with that, it's a lot brighter. And not as confetti heavy with the different shading. And you are gonna have some different shades in here to make the definition that it's a stick of butter. But how it's done is, I just don't like how it's finished at all. The other thing that, that I'm not happy with is the big difference I noticed between this and other people who have shown this completed painting is the cupcakes. So the cupcakes that I have seen finished have had a more defined cuts of the swirls for frosting for the top of the cupcake, but also the cupcake liner. All the ones that I've seen finished will have zigzags through the cupcake liner, whereas mine's just a solid chalked in finish. So that is the biggest thing I've noticed. That's a big difference between this finish and others. And same thing with the lettering. This I've actually redone. How it was charted before, look, another gem's popping up. You couldn't read it at all, even if you were far away. So, and I know diamond paintings are supposed to be looked at from afar, and that when you look at them close up, they're not necessarily going to look the greatest. Even from across the room, you couldn't make out the words "what you." So I've reworked this quite a bit. And then same thing with the rolling pin. All the rolling pins that I've seen completed have almost groove lines in it to show that it's the wooden pin. There's another gem falling out. So I definitely do have to seal this sucker. I'm losing gems. Yeah, so I've seen swirls in the rolling pin. Mine has no swirling action. Now you do see the definition to try and, which does show that it's a circular object or cylinder object, as my daughter would tell me as she's learning her 3D shapes. But you don't see the wood grain, and the ones that I've seen finished, same thing. So, I mean, yeah, that turned out pretty good too. The pan over here turned out really good. I'm happy with that. So, I mean, I'm happy with it. I did complete this painting. As I said before, most of the paintings that I do purchase for a reason of where I want to put them. And I did get this one to put in my kitchen. I am running under the idea and thought of right now, is it good enough that I do want to go ahead and frame it and hang it up? Or is it one that I want to reorder from a store that I know it's going to turn out well, because I will be hanging it in my kitchen. So I'm kind of deciding about that, whether those few little things that I'm not happy with, whether it's something I can live with or not. And so I'm still trying to decide what I want to do with it. I hate rebuying paintings. I don't want to do them again. Once I do them, I'm kind of bored with the subject. It was disappointing because this is one of the paintings that I fell in love with when I first started diamond painting. And I searched for it on so many different sites, and I thought I purchased it from a great place. So I am a little sad that it didn't finish out quite the way that I was hoping. So anyways, I'll have to think about it on what I want to do. I mean, I think it looks good now. It's just not finished the way that I've seen others. See, this cupcake down here is pretty good. You can see the swirls of the frosting. This one up here, it's not great. And same thing, like this cupcake liner down at the bottom, the way I've seen it, it would have a pattern here in the cupcake liner, and this one has nothing. Okay, so that's the painting. So I'm gonna flip it over. I'll probably lose 50 more gems. Here is the trash. So I mean, the drills, the ones that I did get, were actually really good quality, you know, for 40 by 50. This is just a small little container. That's not a lot of trash. And keep in mind, I knock gems out of my tray constantly, and instead of figuring out what jar to put them back in, I just kind of toss them in my trash bin because I'm lazy like that. So, I mean, I was happy about that and the drill quality. The gems that I have left, I have quite a few. I mean, I wasn't really worried about running out of any of the colors. I have a little bit of everything saved over. My greens, there wasn't a lot, but I didn't have a lot of greens in the painting. So it's pretty good, I gotta say. You know, with the exception, I didn't get one of the colors, and I ordered them from another site and got them in, so that was pretty good. The 310s, they weren't that bad in this kit. Pretty good quality. I don't know, you probably won't be able to see it there. Yeah, but, and that's the thing, when I first took the cover off, it was disappointing from point one. I knew it wasn't going to turn out. Well, I saw the bubbles. I had already ironed the canvas, and I saw the bubbles and went, oh, snap. I didn't notice those when I unboxed this. And I did the best I could to try and fix them, re-ironing, stacking things on the painting, slicing where I could, adding glue. I think it turned out pretty good for the depth of the bubbles that I did have. I think I did the best job that I could to try and fix it. And I don't think you can notice it that well. There is a bit of a wave right here in the painting, but I think once I get it mounted on something and framed, I don't think you're actually gonna notice it. So I'm good with that. But I also noticed right away you know, it's one thing when you look at the canvas when you get it and you look at the drill field and you say, okay, it looks clear, it looks good, I can go ahead and get it done. But it's another thing if you carefully sit down and look at the charting of where the colors are going to go on the painting. And lots of times that's hard to picture until you get it done. There's a few companies out there, and I'm not even going to name names because I wouldn't know off the top of my head, who spend a dedicated amount of time working up these paintings, seeing how they come charted out, whether it be done by a computer or by hand, and physically going in and reworking the layout, the pattern, putting in the colors. And I think that makes a substantial difference about the finish that you get with them. So there it is. There is my first review. I wish it was a better one. I do have another review coming shortly, and it is a good review, so yay! We like good reviews. But I'm happy to have it done, and I will have to make a decision shortly on whether I want to get it framed and put up in my kitchen. Well, thank you so much for joining me here today, and I hope you liked this review. I'm going to put all the information about my purchase for my fancy new wooden roller. I'm going to put that in the description of the video. I'm not going to put a link to the store just because where I wasn't happy with the purchase of the item, I've decided I'm not going to put a link to the purchase, but I will put the information about what I paid and where it was from. Yeah, and I'll put that in the description below. Thank you so much for joining me. It's a bright and sunny day here finally, and we're going to get some home organization stuff done here today and maybe some work outside. I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and we'll see you guys again soon. Bye-bye.